We'll start up over here, reading through the columns, but the cards are very fluid for the month. They could preamble on through to other cards, and other messages could join up with each other. So it will really depend on how you feel about the reading and what you are most associated with, and what piques your interest. The Ten of Wands, attachment, and a child. So as I said, the tens often relate to the ending of a project. That Ten of Wands tends to insinuate that you have learnt much along the way, and for some of you this can be related to a career, aspirations or ideas or project, or sometimes it is our creative perspective. So for those of you not in a career, this can be your creative realm in life. It could be something that you are constructing or making or designing, or it could be your study field in life as well, that you're studying something to go into for a career option or as a future pathway in your life. It tends to have the feeling that we have come towards the end of this cycle. So it's about understanding that you have learned a great deal and you are ready to move on to either the next phase of the project or the cycle or the journey, or into a new one altogether in a new direction. But whatever you have gleaned along your way is making it easier for the transition to go into this new pathway. So it's either like it joins up with it. So for some of you, for instance, if you're doing a degree and you might have done a normal university degree and you go on to do a postgraduate degree or something along those lines, or to get a PhD or something. Or if you're at a job, you might have been starting at the lower level and now you are being promoted slowly up through the levels because of your knowledge, determination or creativity or impact or input into a project. It can feel as though you've been doing it for a long time and you're a little bit burdened with it, so it might be a feeling of relief when you finish a certain stage and move on into something new. Underneath we've got the attachment card, and the attachment means you can literally be attached to it. Sometimes if we have invested a lot of personal interest or effort or time or inspiration into something, we can become very attached and not necessarily want to let it go, or possibly also not want to share it with others. Sometimes we like to say, well, this was my project, or this is something I wanted to do. So attachment can be about all of those type of things, holding on to something and not being ready yet to perhaps jump into the next phase. It could also be an attachment about something in your life, not just your project you've been doing, but it could be an attachment to a person or a relationship as well. And that's quite often what this card does mean. When we are attached to something, there's that very old saying you could use: if something truly loves you, then set it free. If it loves you, it will come back. If it doesn't, it was never yours. I haven't said it quite right, but it's along that philosophy. We can't really hold on to anything that is not ours to hold on to. So if it's a relationship or a person or an object or an item that doesn't belong to us, that might be on loan, or we might have thought it was ours, we can't necessarily keep it. And oftentimes something will pop up in our pathway to make it apparent and obvious to us that it has to be let go. So when the attachment card turns up, it's sort of a message to say to you, what is it in your life that you're holding on to that simply really isn't right at the moment anymore? It's something you have to let go. Now, sometimes this could be things like holding on to a house you don't want to shift from, or a job you don't want to leave from, or a partner that if the partnership or relationship isn't working well, but you're holding on to them, it might be time to step back and reevaluate the reasons why you have this attachment to it and try and set it free. The last card down here, the child card, it could be for some of you it's an attachment to a child, or perhaps an attachment to a lost child or a passed over child, or the want for a child or a pregnancy. Some of you it may even be around the concept of working with children. Some of you might have passionately wanted to work in the field of children, or some of you do and it's time to move on type thing. Again, the readings are very broad and open when it's a general reading, so I can't get too specific because this is for a lot of different people. However, oftentimes I'll get messages from people saying, wow, that reading was talking to me exactly. And of course, that can happen as well. Let's move into the second row, and we see the Eight of Pentacles reversed and the door to personal happiness and healing and the cleanse and detoxify. Now, just while we're on the subject, cleanse and detoxify and the Angel of Balance are very, very similar. And also this Two of Swords up here is about balance. So you're getting a few cards in your reading calling for balance. It's an interesting thing I've noticed for May. It's a lot sterner than it was in April. There was a lot of light and not frivolity, but joyfulness and gaiety in April's readings, and May have brought us back down to ground again, exactly where the Taurian energies sit, back grounded on Earth. But they have sort of sterner messages of, pull yourself up and get solid again and listen to these messages that are coming through. So with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, it is still a good omen. It's a positive card. It has always been looked upon as that way. And it often has to do with our work or job or career or finances or how we're choosing to invest or divest or where our money is sitting in our life. He has toiled away quite solidly, this guy up here, with his hands. So sometimes it even refers to people who are employed doing manual work or work with their hands, as opposed to, things like lawyers or accountants or people in the legal realm. It's more physical work where you actually utilize your body, physical strength during the day, or your hands. So it could mean that now is not quite the time to sit back on your laurels and have too much pleasure and relaxation in your life. It could be more about focusing specifically on something. That's what the reversed Eight of Pentacles can mean. So this could be a message for you about your career or your finances or any investments that you may have chosen. It would be telling you to sort of put a little bit of effort into it and make sure that you are still paying the right type of attention to where it's going or how it's being invested or who's looking after it. I also think of this card when it's turned the right way up, that some of the pentacles are lying on the ground, and they're usually what I consider to be the lower chakra part of our body. So around the back, the sacral chakra, the base chakra, hips, thighs and legs. Some of you may have an issue that's going on with that part of the body, and there may either be a small glitch, like it's not going as well as you'd hoped, or it's slowed down the process of the healing or finding out what it was, or something is not moving quite the way you had expected it to. So there could be, this whole column could be related to health in here. And we see that when we come to door to personal healing and happiness, and down here we have cleanse and detoxify. This card is known as a door to, often with the rainbow in the background and the dove there, just finding much more calm and peace and feeling more free and content, I guess, in life when this door opens to you. And this can be after a time of a little bit of unwellness or unhealthiness, or sometimes obsessions or an addiction that you've been working on. So some people might have been saying, right, I'm going to give up smoking, or I'm going to stop drinking so much, or I'm going to stop going out shopping every day of the week and buying all this stuff that I don't necessarily need. Or it could even be something like an obsession to diet or exercise, or going to the gym, or personalities and relationships and friendships. So it feels as though there's taking a turn, things are taking a turn in your life here in the health sector. So this card says it might have slowed down, or that you are working on something that you needed to, that you're paying attention to it and you're trying to figure out what is the best way to go about resolving it. And then you might get some insight, some support, some ideas, some help when this card or energy is around. And this could be through ways of other people mentioning things to you, or it could be through mentorship, or a new program that comes online that you find that you're really interested in, or community support. And this one down here is just talking to you again about cleansing and detoxifying your body in case there's any sort of like just sludgy stuff, like feeling blah, or no energy, or a bit down. Oftentimes when we do a good detox and cleanse, we can just jump up again in energy. We can find ourselves all zooshed up and feeling fresh and free. So this may also suggest to you guys to look carefully at your diet, what you're eating and ingesting, the way you're spending your time. Are you meditating or enjoying life or relaxing enough? Are you getting enough sleep and rest? Are your hormones really balanced? And are your vitamin levels and things like that all in kilter? So I think that's a lot what that row is talking about, as well as that possibility what I first mentioned regards the finances. So we come here to this one and we see these three, which is the 10 of Pentacles, the anxiety and the entrepreneur. Kind of a mixed bag going on there. The 10 of Pentacles is often known as a card of I'll just refocus this again for you, as a card of feeling confident or secure, or as if there are people around you, if it's not yourself, who are nurturing you or who give you support one way or another. This can often be a card that symbolises, again, the endings of cycles. It can suggest a period in our life where we are feeling financially set and as if we have some good assets perhaps or some good investments around us. If it's not you in that position, then it could well be family members such as extended parents or grandparents or parents-in-law, something like that, who might be able to help support you in your quest for perhaps a home or something like that. Some of you may find that you end up living in a scenario or with people of this type of energy, supportive and nurturing and protective. That's what that card can generally mean. And then under here we come and we see the anxiety and we think, well, that seems such a strange one with this card here. So there's a possibility that some of you may have been feeling anxious or a bit worried or concerned about something, and these people are helping, or you find support through these people or this kind of atmosphere or community or environment. It may also be that for some of you, you are pondering upon your accumulation of wealth or assets or something, and you are wondering about whether or not you are going to go into something like your own business. That's what the entrepreneur card is. So you might be thinking, gosh, should I sell my home and end up buying a business or establishing a business or going it alone? Some of you might have some job issues and you're thinking, my job is unsafe, or I don't feel secure with it, or I can't find a job at the moment, which is making me worried and anxious. I'm concerned about my finances, because Taurians, like most of the earth signs, they really enjoy, the groundedness and the sturdiness of a good, safe home and some materialism around them and their belongings feeling safe. So if these things are unsettled and unraveled or unsafe, you could feel anxious. But as I say, there's a degree of feeling as though some of it may be tied up with careers or income or money, or the possibility of starting new businesses or operating them, or even if you own a current business, you might be concerned about it for some reason or another. We come over here and we see the Two of Swords, the Angel of Balance, and Go For It. Both of these cards are similar in colour with their representation of the blue and the dark at night, because that's a moon up there and this is dark and there's a moon up here. The two moons, they're actually replicating quite a lot. There are two pyramids visible here and two swords here. There's the one woman. She is looking into the lamp, and this one is looking through her mind's eye. So there's a degree of requiring balance. There's also an uncertainty about a decision you're making, possibly not knowing whether to go left or right or up or down, or to take this offer or that offer. Sometimes this can be to do with written communication or legal communication that is coming your way, such as the signing of documentation for something. It could be surrounding jobs or career or family matters or issues, or financial issues as well. Now, the new moon may have something to do with it for you as May comes into play. So you could find activity around the moon and the new moon, or even the full moon energies, and you might find either this situation or matter crops up then, or you might find that you find answers around this particular issue about that time. Given that this is also about balance, this one here says the angel of balance. Now really it's just saying the same thing as it says over here. Balance out your health with all the right things in life. Make sure you're all getting enough rest and rejuvenation, enough time to appreciate life and enjoy it. And around your birthday is a great time to be able to take a bit of time off and celebrate and, just pay homage to yourself and your family and your friends, things like that. It's a really great time to celebrate and be able to enjoy both the hard work in life and the playtime. Also, it is telling you about the balance of your body. So some of you may have a pH out of balance, because I'm thinking of that. So you might need to raise the pH levels in your body. If a lot of you eat a lot of acidic foods one way or another, our pH can be very low. Now when the pH levels are low, our body doesn't metabolize things correctly and it slows down. So a really good way of addressing that is this is quite a simple way of doing it. There's two things and they're both perfectly good for you. The first is lemon juice in the morning and some warm water, and you just squeeze a lemon into it and drink it down. You don't have to enjoy it, but drink that down. Lemon juice, for some reason, even though it's extremely acidic, helps raise the pH balance in our bodies. Now the other thing you can take to raise pH, if you're wanting to raise it quite quickly, is a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate every day in water. And again, this doesn't taste particularly nice, but it really does raise the pH quickly. And bringing your body back into a good positive pH alignment will help stop things like yeast infections, stomach ailments, a lot of other things that are caused through the disruption of our balance in our body. This card down here says go for it. So for some of you, you might have been, as I said earlier, pondering about this, which direction, left or right, or which offer do I take? They're saying here, your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. I'll see if I can focus for you on there. It looks fairly focused anyhow. We've been working with you on this situation since its genesis, and we continue to watch over you and everyone involved. Stay on your present path, as it will take you very far indeed. So if any of you have had something in the back of your mind and you've been having it as a kind of a project for a while, it is talking about the possibility that, to keep on with these ideas that you've got and don't give up just yet. I have a feeling there is communication required, because we see that up here with the blue coming through, and I mentioned blue and the throat and the voice and people involved in an issue that needs sorting, and possibly an older male and reaching out one way or another. And we had the older people in this card as well. So some of those messages really have started to come through with the cards. Remember too, when I said about your health a wee bit earlier, there may be some of you that have got throat issues as well. So it could be a sore throat or a virus, or teeth that need looking into, or thyroid, or even a stiff or sore neck that may need adjustment. So there you are, Taurians, a lot to think about for your reading, lots of interesting ideas going on. It feels as though the end of some sort of project or cycle that you're coming towards, but it will lead you to the fulfillment and enjoyment of heading into the next project. It's a good ending, if you get my drift. There's nothing necessarily bad about it. Some of you might be holding on to parts of it because you're not quite ready yet to move into the next stages or the next hyper jump, but I feel it's a really good, positive, grounded reading for you, and just giving you some health advice in there as well.